Hello, Contrarian capitalists. Hope you're well. Got an article here from Zero Hedge, and it is absolutely ludicrous. And I do not believe at all that I'm just about to say this, but I will. That Biden punishes responsibility as new mortgage equity program begins. Starting today, the Federal Housing Finance Agency's mortgage pricing adjustments will increase fees for borrowers with high credit scores while reducing costs for those with subpar credit scores. So, in a nutshell, what is going on here is that if you've got a good credit rating, and this is in the US, if you've got a good credit rating, high credit score, etc., what is actually going to happen is when you take out a mortgage or you go to refinance, you're going to find that you're going to have increased fees for being pretty much a good citizen, for trying to keep a high credit score and being on your best behavior. Whereas those at the lower end of the ladder who are going to have poor credit scores, in fact, they're going to have better rates and less fees. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The article continues by saying this upside down policy is blatantly socialism, and one can't help but wonder if anyone in the Biden administration learned anything from the subprime mortgage meltdown that occurred more than a decade ago. Again, 100% totally agree. Zero Hedge have this absolutely spot on. This makes no sense whatsoever. It is completely crazy, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Biden and this government. It's nuts. I don't really have I'm trying to keep it as PC friendly as possible. It is absolutely nuts. Now, surely it has to work the other way around. If you have a high credit score, you're on your best behavior, blah, 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 then you should have access to better mortgage products. Why are you rewarding the delinquents of society by giving them better rates, less fees, etc., etc.? It doesn't make sense. The reason their credit score is going to be low, they're going to have a good reason why it's low in the first place. Makes absolutely no sense. It's also clear that the administration hasn't learned anything from the subprime mortgage meltdown. If you are giving out all of these loans and people then are not able to pay them back, what do you think is going to happen? You are going to have to hand your home back to the bank. Bank might have to write off a lot of losses. And again, if that happens en masse, that's going to lead to absolute destruction. The whole point of having a good credit score, a good credit rating, is that you are demonstrating to financial institutions that you are more than capable of managing your finances. You're managing your ins and outs sufficiently. Now, of course, there's always little hints, tricks, and tips to give you a more favorable score. Of course, there are. It's part of life. But to punish this responsibility is insane, for the want of a better way of putting it. The article continues, as part of the Biden administration's plan to make housing affordable for everyone, upfront fees for loans backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will be adjusted based on the borrower's credit score. Borrowers with high credit scores will pay more in fees, while those with lower credit scores will pay less. Again, that really should be the other way around. I understand that there can be lots of issues with housing. There are here in the UK as well. But what you want to do, you want to incentivize people to borrow. You want to incentivize people to borrow responsibly. And this is just not going to cut the mustard at all. It makes absolutely no sense. And what makes me concerned is that there are people in this administration that must be sitting around tables or Zoom calls, whatever it might be, and they actually think this is a good idea. We're meant to learn from mistakes, people. We're not meant to keep repeating them. It's whoever thought this is a good idea probably needs to be sacked. But just give them a lower credit score because then they're going to get a better house. I mean, it's just absolute nonsense is all I'm going to say to that. So yeah, just another great example of the people in charge not thinking things through, and let's see where this ultimately brings us. See you in the next video.